What's up, everyone? I'm Justin Maytack, here with my brother, Matthew Maytack.
Hey, everybody.
And we are Room 51, where we talk all things board gaming. And today, we are continuing our top 51 games of all time, and we are now in number 20 through 11.
Yeah, baby, our top 20ers.
What is your number 20?
My number 20 is a game that I think will go higher on the list because I feel like I've barely scratched the surface of this game. But the more I play it, I think it's going to be great. So it is Sleeping Gods, another game by Ryan Lockett. Again, in the universe that he's been creating, the same universe as Near and Far, but it's not a sequel. I thought it was, but it's not. And it's cooperative this time, this game, and it is hard. I was not expecting that. I thought it was going to be much more about the adventure, the story, and it really is. It has all of that. But it's also got a lot of survival in it, and I was not expecting it to be so difficult to really manage your resources and keep your crew alive and use their abilities to the best of their ability. But yes, I've been having a lot of fun with this, and I can't wait to continue on with getting those totems. So that is my number 20, Sleeping Gods.
Very cool. So my number 20 is an extremely popular cooperative trick-taking game. I'm talking about The Crew, The Quest for Planet 9, I believe is its full title. It is a lot of fun. It's very, oh man, alright, based on my hand and what others have revealed so far and what their objectives are, okay, I need to throw this card. The biggest downside of it, and a big reason why I didn't crack the top 10, I think, is it's a game where it's very easy to lose in a mission and then it be very clear hey, this person messed up because they threw this card. And I think that is a little problematic because people will mention that and
people can be mean.
People can be mean and people can take things personally, and I don't love that, but I love the game, and that's why it is my number 20, The Crew, The Quest for Planet 9.
I thought that was going to be in your top 10, but okay.
Yeah.
My number 19 was something that was mentioned by Justin last episode. And so this is actually a bit higher than Seven Wonders Duel for me, and it is just regular Seven Wonders. I really like that game, and then especially when you add in the Armada expansion, oh my gosh, that game, I love the simplicity of the base game. I'm not looking to always play Armada.
Yeah.
Because Armada adds a lot.
A ton.
It makes it like a medium weight game.
Yeah, it's a different game.
Yeah, it's almost it's not totally different game, but it makes it a medium weight game, I think. But regular Seven Wonders is fantastic. I love the card drafting. I love the snappiness of it, which is fun and cool. I love the civ building. Themes surrounded by the game. And like I said, the Armada expansion is just fantastic. So that's my number 19, Seven Wonders.
Yeah, Armada to me is close to almost being a sequel to Seven Wonders.
Almost,
that's
right,
how much it adds to it.
It really adds a lot of depth and strat.
Alright, though, so my number 19 is a game that we played at the convention first, and then you picked it up. I'm talking about Endeavor Age of Sail. It has dropped a little bit on my list, I believe, just because we played it a bit less. When we first got it, I really was obsessed with this game, wanted to play it a ton. Now it's we have all these other games I want to play. But the game is really fun. It's engine building. It's worker placement. There's there's some player confrontation that occurs. There's just so much in it, and it takes an hour just about, maybe an hour and a half. And that's pretty much max. I love how much this game accomplishes in such a short amount of time. It is a very rewarding and satisfying game to play.
Yeah, last time it was on my list at 47. I thought it was going to go up. It actually fell off my list. And it's on my just missed list.
Right.
I think because I've had a couple of experiences where I was not happy with what was going on in the game. But I think it's a really good game. I think it's one that doesn't get enough love, actually. My number 18, I love living card games.
Yeah.
And I love campaign games. And I also really like playing things solo. So this one is Arkham Horror LCG. This is Cthulhu-themed the theme really comes out. The story is awesome, and it is hard, that game. I play it on standard difficulty. I should probably play it on easy mode, but I won't. And it also has it where it's like you're constructing your deck over time, because you're gaining experience points as you go through, like the different scenarios and everything is connected within its cycles, I guess they call them. But it's really cool. I love the Cthulhu theme, the horror and everything. I love how hard it is. Sometimes it really, like grinds my gears though. But I also just like the LCG format. So that's my number 18, Arkham Horror LCG.
Nice. Okay. So I gotta retry that one.
Yes,
I'm not sold yet on living card names. But my number 18 is the most intense 10 minutes you will ever have in your entire life. It is a cooperative game where you're trying to defuse bombs, and I am talking about fuse. Somebody, 10 minutes timer starts, somebody grabs 4 dice or however many people you're playing, chucks them onto the table. You have to figure out, okay, everybody takes 1 die. Where am I going to put it on my bombs? No, wait, I need that die, all that kind of stuff. And you have to be moving fast. You have to be, even though you're moving super fast, you have to be smart about where you're placing it so you're not totally screwing over your team where it's just like, I pretty much need a yellow 6 or I'm going to have to re-roll whatever. And completely stuck with that. That can be problematic. I absolutely love it, though. The game is super intense. Gets everybody hyped up.
That is a good choice. That's probably one of my favorite convention memories.
Oh, yeah.
Playing Fuse for the first time with Salty Dog and his daughter. That was really fun and really cool. Yeah. It didn't make my list, but I love that game a lot.
Nice.
My number 17, I'm going to continue with the living card game stuff because I love them. And so this one just beat Arkham Horror for me, and it is Lord of the Rings, the living card game. Now, oh my gosh, this game is hard. Now, you want to talk about hard. With Arkham Horror, even if you, lose or whatever, you keep going. Right. Lord of the Rings, it's like, no, you gotta beat the scenario. And you construct your deck. It's not about, experience points or anything like that. You construct your deck whichever way you want, and that's why it's above Arkham Horror for me, because this one has me thinking more about the game outside of the game than any of the other LCGs out there. Really. Okay. And I love the Lord of the Rings theme. I like Lord of the Rings more than Cthulhu also. Right. But I also just love the gameplay, and it feels a lot like those old-time collectible card games like Magic the Gathering and stuff that we used to play all the time, or Yu-Gi-Oh! But more Magic the Gathering. Yeah. But that is my number 17, Lord of the Rings LCG.
Alright, very cool. Yeah, same thing again. I gotta give living card games another try, but really I'm not sold on living card games yet.
Although I think you would like this one a lot.
I might. But my number 17 is, I've said it before on stream, and I'm now kind of looking at my list to see, I believe this is the highest filler game I have, and this is my favorite filler game, in my opinion. I'm pretty sure this is my favorite. I'm talking about Kingdomino. Kingdomino is a ton of fun. It takes 20-25 minutes max, where you're just drafting tiles, placing it into your kingdom, trying to get the same terrain type to match, and have as many crowns as possible for the multiplier. And yeah, sure, maybe it's a little mathy, and maybe you gotta make sure you're keeping it within that 5x5 grid, but it's super chill. The decision making is not super mind melting, but it's a ton of fun. It's pure fun. Absolutely love it. Kingdomino is my number 17.
Yeah, that's when you can whip out. It's midnight. I kind of want to play a game, but I'm also falling asleep.
You could totally play it.
I'm gonna play Kingdomino and lose.
All right.
My number 16 is a cooperative style game. Another very difficult one to beat. I think it's currently out of print because it had a new rendition now. But I'm talking about Ghost Stories.
That's
the new one being Last Bastion, which to my understanding is essentially the same game. I think there's a little bit of variance.
And some medieval stuff.
The theme is different. I actually like the theme of Ghost Stories better.
Yeah, it's horror.
Yeah, it's horror, but with ghosts and everything, which you don't get a whole lot. I mean, there's horror stuff, mostly Cthulhu, but not like ghosts.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
So this one is really cool. Very, very difficult to beat. And again, it's got like dice chucking involved, which I like. And then, but there's mitigation, and you have to really plan out like which spaces I'm going to go to. Like, do I verse these monsters that are coming our way, or ghosts or whatever, or do I like go to this place just so I could use its like special ability to gear up for the next thing that I want to do. It's intense. We've only won it once on the tutorial mode.
Boom.
Right? Like the invitation to the game, initiation I think it's called. So I'm looking to get that back to the table.
Yeah.
So that's my number 16, Ghost Stories.
That's another one that I think it fell off my list because because I haven't played it forever. Yeah. But that's a fantastic one. Like I said, I love really hard co-op.
Yeah, me too.
Nails it. So my number 16 is another one from Stonemaier Games. I predict that this one is going to eventually fall below Viticulture. But for the time being, I do really love this game. And it might fall off my list, who knows, far future. I know it's probably the most popular game on my list, though. Wingspan. It is an incredibly popular game just because somehow this game totally blew up, which is really cool. But it's a lot of fun. It's engine building, and you get to look at pretty birds, and you gotta figure out, all right, what birds do I want to play? What do I want to not play? What kind of engine am I going for? All these different things. It's really fun decision making. The artwork is beautiful. And yeah, I don't know. It was one that really surprised me because there was so much hype around it that I was expecting to be disappointed. And then playing that, I was like, wow, this is actually a really good game. I really enjoyed this game. But I'm predicting, because I think I'm starting to cool on it a little bit, and I'm predicting Viticulture to overtake it. Because I don't even want to say that I'm cooling on it, but more like I was so excited by how much the game surprised me.
Okay.
So now I feel like I'm starting to find my happy medium of just how much I like Wingspan.
Yeah, the game did not surprise me. I thought I wouldn't be as enamored with it, and I'm not. As most people are. I think it's okay. I think it's pretty fun. I think it overstays its welcome for what it does. Personally,
I actually don't think you're as alone as you think in that boat. I think there's a lot of people that are disappointed by Wingspan.
Yeah, I feel like that game should be no more than an hour, and we have played 3-hour games of that.
Which is not the best of experiences, yeah.
So, yes. I will never play with more than 3 players.
Right.
With that, my next game, so number 15 we're up to, right?
Yes.
So my number 15 game is the last living card game on my list. And it, I guess, is my favorite one out of the 3, and it is Marvel Champions. Nice. I love superheroes. I like the Marvel universe. I like DC universe. I like comics in general from all kinds of universes. But Marvel and DC are, I know, like the biggest 2 that people know. But anyway, so Marvel Champions, I love that I get to play as Spider-Man or Black Panther or whoever, right? And build my deck around whatever it is. And again, it doesn't really use like experience points where I'm like slowly building up this deck like Arkham Horror does. I could build it outside. It's like, oh, you know what? This isn't working. I'll choose a different aspect or whatever. I'll choose different general cards and blah, 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 blah. The only thing that you have to keep are the cards that come with that. Like, if I'm playing as Spider-Man, I have to use the Spider-Man cards, which is usually like 15 cards or something. I like the expansions that have come out, like the different hero packs. I've gotten Hulk, Thor, that's all fun. And we're starting to play through Rise of Red Skull, which has been a lot of fun. We lost the first scenario, so we're going to have to try that one again. But I really enjoyed this game. So number 15, Marvel Champions, ability card game.
I thought this was going to be a top 10 pick for you.
Oh no,
Yeah.
I've got other things coming, baby.
I'm pretty surprised. I really thought this was a top 10 game for you.
There's a lot of great games out there.
There definitely is. My number 15 is one of those 2-player war games that is pretty tough for me to get to the table, but I absolutely love it. I'm talking about 1775 Rebellion. This is actually a game that can go up to 4 players, and it does play well at 4. The mechanics in it that make 4 players work well, it does a good job.
Yeah.
But I prefer the game at 2, and it's a lot of fun. It's intense. There's dice chucking for combat, but even in that dice chucking for combat, there's decision making involved, and what you're trying to do is control a majority of the 13 colonies by the end of the war, once all 4 peace treaties have come out, which also makes it an uncertain ending on exactly when it's going to end, all that kind of stuff. The game is phenomenal. I absolutely love it. I wish that I could play it more, but for how little I've been able to play it, it's still at number 15.
Yeah, no, that's pretty good.
That says something.
That is a good one. I like that one. My number 14 is also a war game, and I think people are going to be surprised that it's not in like my top 10 or top 5.
I got you.
It is Lord of the Rings themed, and it is War of the Ring. I think that this game can go higher if we play it a little bit more, but right now, as it stands, it is my number 14. It is Lord of the Rings in a box. The rules are nuts.
It's a novel.
The rule book is literally written like a novel. Like, it's by chapters.
Yeah.
Who does that?
Yeah.
Nobody. So once RTFM came out with a how to play video, we were actually able to start playing the game.
Yes.
And currently I've been watching the Rick Royale videos. Again, he has like a 16 episode series of him just actually playing through War of the Ring. I like watching his playthroughs, so I'm watching that again right now. Also just to see, like, it's one of those games where you get better at it the more you know what cards are there. You know, like in the game and everything. I usually play as the Fellowship. This guy, he plays as the Shadow player.
Yes.
But it is really, really good. Stays true to the theme. I wish it was a little more streamlined. And that like you could see, like, the setup is a bear.
Yes, it is. It's
and
intense.
then, like, certain cards will mention certain areas on the map. And you're just like, okay, where is that?
Where? What are you talking about?
So you spend like 20 minutes figuring that out. But anyway, nonetheless, I love this game. My number 14, War of the Ring.
Nice. So my number 14 is one that you mentioned earlier, and I'm talking about Race for the Galaxy. Okay. It's this awesome tableau building card game where there's just a ton of symbology, but once you get it down, it's really not that bad, like you mentioned before. And it's just really smooth, and it's kind of hard to explain, but like the decision making in it is really fun because your hand of cards is also essentially your currency in the game. So you're gonna have to discard cards to play cards. So there's a lot of, like, you could have 6 cards in your hand, and you're only going to play one of those because you're discarding the other 5 to play it. So there's a lot of interesting decision making and thinking, and like, ooh, wait, though, I want these. All right. Also, I want to do the Explorer action, and I want to do the development. Well, I think Melissa's going to do development this time, so I'll do the Explorer. All that kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
I really enjoy this game. And also, like you mentioned, the space theme and the artwork and stuff, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
So that's my number 14, Race for the Galaxy.
I really like the mechanism of, like, paying for cards by discarding other cards.
Yeah, I enjoy that.
Marvel Champions has that too, so I really like that.
Yes, it does. Yeah. I like that a lot.
My number 13 is another one of those games that I think does not get enough love, and it falls in the CCG category, and I'm talking about Dice Masters. This is like my bread and butter, CCG, DCG, whatever you want to call it, because it is dice chucking. It is bag building. So you create your deck of heroes. I like playing with Marvel and DC characters. I don't really dabble with like all the other stuff like WWE and Dungeons and Dragons and all that. I like sticking to the superheroes. But you come out with your team of like 8 people or heroes or whatever, and then as the game progresses, you're saying like, okay, which dice am I going to actually put? Like, am I going to take my Wonder Woman and my Batman and whatever? And then you'll pull out certain dice and you're rolling those, and then you'll see what their stats are, or if they're just going to be resources to pay for other dice that you could put into your bag. So it's this bag building, dice chucking, CCG or dice collectible game, whatever
you want to call it.
I really like it. Head-to-head battle. It's really fun. So that's my number 13, Dice Masters.
It's a cool game for sure. My number 13 is, like yours actually, doesn't get enough love. is pretty much, I never hear people mention this game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about Pandemic Legacy Season 1.
Yeah. Nobody talks about this one.
No, I'm specifically saying Season 1 because it's the only one we played, and yes, this game does definitely get tons of love. Though, I have seen some hate, which
people have been
shocks me.
Yeah.
You know what shocked me the most? This one comment, it was amazing. They're just like, it's so mad. I don't know why people rave about it. But then later on, they also mentioned how they don't like base Pandemic. And it's like, if you don't enjoy base Pandemic,
why?
You're not going to find something... unless your problem with base Pandemic was that there's no story,
right.
You're not going to care about Legacy.
Like, why would you... I don't understand. Okay.
Yeah, so Legacy, I'm not to spoil anything, but the story in the game and the mechanisms that come up during the whole Legacy experience puts it at my number, 13, which I consider to be very high, especially for a co-op game. It's phenomenal.
Yeah. Especially for one that you can only play through once.
And you can only play through it once. I think once we play Season 2 and stuff, I might be like, okay, now Season 2, but, so it depends. But, yeah, sure, Legacy will eventually fall off because you can only play through it once.
Yeah.
But it really is great if you haven't played it yet.
That's a good pick, I would say. My number 12 is, I'm going to say, legitimately, a game that gets overshadowed and underloved because of Eldritch Horror and how great that game is. But Arkham Horror 2nd Edition, not 3rd Edition, I haven't played that one, 2nd Edition, okay, the OG, is a lot of fun. And I don't care, okay? I've never played Eldritch Horror, and I never will. Well, I might, I don't know. But I really like Arkham Horror, just, 2nd Edition, Cthulhu theme. It is crazy.
Yeah. There's a lot going on in the game.
There's a lot going on in the game. It's wacky. The rules are bizarre sometimes. It could be a little clunky, but all of that adds to its charm for me.
I will give it that. It definitely feels like a charming, quirky, old-school horror, but not quirky in the sense of, like, a goofy horror.
Yeah.
No, just more like old-school horror.
Yes, like a B-movie kind of thing.
Yeah.
But not even so much that.
It's more like... It's legitimately a scary movie, but... older and not as well done, like old school well done, not modern day well done. You know what I mean?
Right. And
if that makes sense.
It comes through where like the idea of Cthulhu is that bad things will just happen, and that's just how it is. And sometimes good things will happen, and that's just how it is. And that's what happens in the game. And you go into encounters and different stories emerge. You could really roleplay this if you want to, but you don't have to. And you're gearing up to eventually face the Ancient One, or whatever it's called, who's been asleep, but is waking up. And, or you could even stop that from happening if you could close all the portals and everything and seal the gates and stuff. But that is really hard to do. And that is my number 12, Arkham Horror 2nd Edition.
I gotta ask you, though, and I don't love doing this with top lists. I don't love asking this question with top lists. I think they're usually unfair. But I do have to ask it. You like Arkham Horror and Dice Masters more than Marvel Champions?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I was thinking about, like, how excited would I be if somebody was like, let's play Arkham Horror. But, yeah.
Well, okay, yeah. Never mind then, because nobody ever wants to play Arkham Horror Dice Masters.
That's true.
So
of course I'd be super excited.
Arkham Horror is a game that I want to try again. Each time we played, there was A, rules mess up, and B, I'm not playing at 7 players today, and we have done that like 3 different times, or 4 different times.
I don't know why we keep doing that.
It is. I hate it. Because I don't like co-ops that last that long, and it takes like 4 hours when we do that.
Yeah, it's not great to do that. I have a blast, but...
Oof. Alright, though. So my number 12 is... it's my pandemic pick, and I'm not including Legacy games. So you didn't pretty much put any pandemic that I've played here, but I put Fall of Rome. I really love Fall of Rome. Truthfully, though, you could have put Vanilla Pandemic here, and I would have no problems with that. I really enjoy Pandemic. It's great to show new players. It's great to play with experienced players. It's a really fun cooperative game. Again, I think also one that really showed me, wow, I really love shorter co-ops that have a really nice like crescendo of getting more and more intense, and then like having the final moments be a nail biter of, can we finish this off, or are we about to lose?
Yeah.
Because so many of the games turn into that, or turn into a straight up loss, and I love that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Those are fun. Those are exciting moments.
But yeah, I did put Pandemic Fall of Rome because I really enjoyed Pandemic Fall of Rome.
Well, my number 11 is all-encompassing, and Justin already mentioned it, and I'm putting Pandemic Legacy Season 1. But pretty much, this is all-encompassing of the Pandemic system at large. I've loved every single Pandemic version I have played so far. Like, that even includes the one that a lot of people, I guess, don't like, which is Cthulhu.
Right.
I really like that one.
I love that one. Yeah, it's tons of fun.
I don't think I've played a Pandemic game that I have not liked. We have On the Brink, really like that expansion.
Iberia was really good.
Iberia is really good, but Legacy takes the cake for me with the Pandemic system. We've only played Season 1, which is why specifically I have Season 1 on the list.
Right.
But that experience was fantastic and amazing.
Right.
So that is my number 11 Pandemic Legacy Season 1, and that ends it off for this list.
No, it does not, because I have to give my number 11.
Yeah, I don't care about your 11.
Woo! So, my number 11 is the most important pick you will hear in this list.
Yeah.
I think it's the last racing game, and it's one, again, by Restoration Games. We really like Restoration Games. Restoration Games is awesome.
Restoration Games is fun. Yeah.
But my number 11 is Downforce. It's so much fun. People say you can win the game without winning the race. We have not had that happen. But you totally can, because the game's all about who ends up with the most money. Because you're going to have to spend money to buy your cars and then race. And during the race, you bet on who's going to win at different points. And then depending on how your bets turned out, you can wind up winning the most money even if your car did not win the race. And whoever has the most money wins. It's really a lot of fun. I love the special abilities, the expansions with the extra maps and everything.
Yeah, the extra maps are cool.
Love Downforce. So that's my number 11, Downforce.
I've got some salt with Downforce, but we won't get into that.
So that's the end of this one.
So that is the actual end of this episode. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for our next episode where we finish it off with our top 10 games of all time. 10-51 for Room 51. This has been Room 51. We'll catch you next time.
Take care, everybody.